What is good, everyone? I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. I just hosted a live event yesterday where I was going over specifically what type of company I'm building and what type of business model I'm running and what business model all of my clients are leveraging as well to be able to sign 5 and 6 figure deals. That meaning they get paid 10K plus per month per client that they onboard. I've had one of my previous clients actually sign a $120,000 deal for one single 2-week marketing campaign, and another one of my clients signs $200,000 to $250,000 deals on a regular basis. And the specific model that we are leveraging internally to be able to do that was revealed in this specific live event. That model is called brand partnering, and I'm diving into any single thing you need to know in this recording of that live event so you get all of that value as well. Make sure to watch the entire thing. It's incredibly valuable, should be about 1.5 hours long, and I didn't leave anything out. You can see the entire recording right now here on YouTube. So that's that. Make sure to watch through it, and I'll see you at the outro. Welcome to the brand partnering live event brought to you by me. And I'm very, very excited for this because there's a lot of stuff we're going to dive into, and we're going to make this very, very valuable. Essentially, what I want to talk about here is how you can adopt the brand partnering model for yourself, okay? Which took me from building from zero, companies from scratch, no money in my bank account, completely broke, to building 2 7-figure companies. So 2 companies to more than $1 million per year, both in less than 3.5 months. The first one in 7 weeks and the second one in a bit less than 3.5 months. And there are a lot of people in this industry that are making a lot of money from this model. And so we're going to specifically dive into all of that today. That's that. Before we start, make sure you have a notepad, pen and paper ready to take notes, okay? I want you to listen in, but then in addition to that, take notes from it and implement it into your business right out of the bat, because that's the best way in which you can learn, progress, and build the agency, coaching, or the business generally speaking that you want to build, okay? And we're going to dive into every single thing you need to know. There's nothing that I'm going to be holding back. And the main topic of today's event is the business model that I've been running for the last 2 years and 4 months, and the business model that all of my clients have been running as well. So I'm super excited for that. So make sure you have pen and paper ready. Make sure you close all tabs, make sure there's no notifications turned on, and just cut out all distractions, okay? If you can't even cut out distractions, don't even try to build a business because it won't make any sense. You won't make money with it. Simple as that. Write down all questions, okay? I will have a Q&A section at the end of this event where I'm going to be diving into all of those and answering as many as I humanly can to make sure that I put the cherry on top and provide even more value after that. For every single person that stays until the end, again, you'll get the recording of today's live event and the opportunity to learn exactly how you can scale past 50K a month with my help. So let's dive into it. So what I want you to do is I want you to treat this class as if you just paid $997 for it. And the reason being is because things like this would usually cost you a solid amount of money. The information I'm sharing and the value I'm sharing and everything I'm going through, usually people sell for $997, multi-thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars if they're quite overpriced. So treat this like you just paid $997 to join this live event. I put a lot of effort into this because you can't only count in the effort that I put in just to create this whole event. You also have to count in the actual effort it took to build the businesses that I've built over the last 2 years and 4 months. Okay, so this took a lot of effort. Make sure you treat it like this. This is live, by the way. I already answered a couple questions in the chat, so I think by this point in time, it should be very, very obvious that this is a live event, but this is not pre-recorded. This is not automated. I don't do anything automated as of right now. I do everything I do live because I want to be able to engage with you, answer your questions, etc., etc. So that's that. Super important. Now, who in here is facing these problems? What I want to do here is I want to show you how well I know your situation, because I've been in your shoes very, very likely before, right? In shoes where you feel like it's hard to sign big clients, it's hard to close 10K per month plus deals. It's hard to find these people to target them in the first place. It's hard to find the right team members. It's hard to make ads profitable. It's hard to build a personal brand that actually attracts the right ICP. It's hard to build an agency. The market is saturated. Okay, the agency model, generally speaking, seems like it's a bit saturated and just getting harder and harder, and you need a better model. Leads aren't really willing to pay a lot of money up front, or even a solid amount of money up front on calls. It's hard to get client results. It's hard to retain clients over long periods of time. The market is limited, and there's not that many people that you can actually reach out to. And in addition to that, you don't book enough calls, you don't close enough deals, and you think volume is the solution to all of those problems. Okay. Trust me, I've been in your shoes before. I know what it's like. And I also, more than that, know how you can solve these problems. The only reason as to why I'm showing you this entire list is because I want to make sure that you understand how well I know your situation, because then you also understand how valuable the things I'm sharing are. Because some of the things I'm sharing, you might have heard before. Some of the things I'm sharing, you might have never heard about before. But none of these things matter, because if you just take it in and implement it for yourself, you will see a lot of success, because that's what I've done and what my clients have done. So tune in, listen in. I understand you, your situation, and I know that for a lot of you, a lot of these points are pains you have, and I can solve that pain with you. So let's get to that. So after today's live event, you will know exactly how to effectively position yourself as an expert in a $480 billion creator economy to attract high quality, high ticket clients. No, this is not about growth operating, okay? How to escape the commoditized pricing model and command 5 to 10K per month in client deals without really getting any BS objections on sales calls. How to sign and retain dream clients without sending hundreds of outbound messages every day and getting 0 replies, as well as how you can get from 10K to 50K in the shortest period of time by building a micro personal brand for yourself to attract more high quality clients. One thing I want to make very clear here is this. None of these things will work for you if you're not willing and able to listen, focus, and work. Because I don't have a magic wand, and no one does. Anybody that tells you they have a magic wand are straight out lying. I want to bring you the true value you need, and I want to tell you exactly what you need to hear to be able to get the results that you want. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, and exactly what we're going to do from here. So that's that. Once you implement everything I'm sharing, you will never, ever, ever have to work with any low quality clients again that waste your time, just blame you when they don't see results, and they're just a headache, okay? All of us know it. I've had it before as well. I've had clients that were a pure headache that I just didn't want to work with anymore, and then we parted ways because it didn't make sense for either of us. You will never, ever have to worry about competing on price again, and you will never have to negotiate low retainers on sales calls ever again. And also, you won't have to spend 3 months prospecting with inconsistent to no results. I've spoken to people before that have tried the traditional agency models and agency route before, and they told me they literally tried for 6 months and have no clients. How can you work on your business or in your business, whatever you want to call it, for 6 months and have no money, no clients, and no appointments? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I would stop in the first 4 weeks. Because clearly, if you're putting in volume and you're doing what you think you're supposed to do, but you're not getting results, you're doing something wrong, okay? After this live event, you will know how to go around these problems, and you'll never have to experience this ever again. So that's that. Now, I want to show you some proof, okay? That what I'm talking about not only works for myself, but also works for other people. So this is a VRL. I was working with a VRL for about 2 months. And when I first met him, he was making about 1.5K a month in profit. So he has a content or had a content agency, and he was doing about 4.5K a month in revenue and profiting 1.5K a month from that, which, if you know anything about the online business industry, is very, very bad in terms of margins. And he went from 1.5K a month in profits to 20K a month in profits. By the way, all numbers I'm talking about are cash collected. I'm not talking about like, oh, like deal size. That's not what we're talking about here. It's all cash collected. And he did that within 2 months. The way he did that is essentially by positioning himself as a brand partner. And one thing that you'll not see often in the space, but that's very, very achievable and very possible if you know what to do, is bigger deals than 5-figure deals. Aviral, in this case, closed a $120,000 client, one single wire, and he closed that client for a 2-week marketing campaign, which means Aviral made 120 grand cash collected for 2 weeks of doing one marketing campaign for one single client. Now, let me ask you this. How long does it take you to make $120,000 right now? Because if you're on this live event, chances are you don't even make that in a year right now. He did it with one client in 2 weeks. And if you look at Aviral right here, Aviral at that time was 19. It's not hard. You just got to have the right inputs. It took him 2 months to scale to 20K, as I said. Another one, Costin, I think you're watching this as well. Very good example. Costin had very, very inconsistent cash flow for 1 year. I have known Costin for quite a while. And I think at some point he just realized he needed to play bigger games, right? What he did is he positioned himself differently. And what I would say is he positioned himself as a brand partner. 1 year at least. Reason being is very simple. What Costin does is he only targets the highest ends of the market. And that's exactly what you should be doing. But I'm not here to talk about, oh, just raise your prices and charge more, because anyone can say that. I'm here to show you through the actual strategies that I've implemented for myself to be able to do that. Okay. So that's what Costin did. Costin closed a pretty big client, right? His name is Mark Shapiro. You can obviously look him up on IG, but Mark Shapiro has like 700K followers on IG. And Costin helped him scale from 62K to 212K cash collected in 19 days after getting him on board. And he made about 10.5K of one client in the first month of working with him, right? And I know Costin is in this chat right now. So Costin, if you can hear me, you can obviously validate what I'm saying. But all of this to show you that there is much more possibility and much more opportunity in working with the right people than, I don't know, dabbling around and trying to sign a realtor to pay you $1,500 a month. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So that's that. I have a couple other ones. I have Joe and Joseph, I have Eduardo, but to be honest, I don't want to walk through like a lot of case studies here. I just want to show you that what I'm talking about works. This right here is my biggest case study. And I'm obviously very proud of that. That's, by the way, there's no reason for me to say I'm the reason for all his success. Not at all. Obviously, Alex did his thing very well, but Alex went from 0 to 700K a month. No, it's not 5 months. Sorry, that should say 12 months. My bad. 0 to 700K a month in 12 months, right? In the beginning, he had a real estate marketing agency, which we scaled to 50K a month. But from there, he made a pivot. He went into Web3, positioned himself as a brand partner, and scaled to 700K a month in the following 9 months. How was Alex able to do that? Alex makes 200K to 250K per client. Okay. Sounds crazy, and I know it does, especially if you're charging low, but you need to understand one thing. People are willing to pay any price if the value is there. And what Alex, for example, does is he helps crypto projects list on big exchanges like Binance. That, to a crypto project, is worth millions. That's why Alex can charge 200, 250K. Okay. So it's not about the price you have, it's about the value you provide and how you're able to position yourself. And so if you tick those 2 boxes, you'll make a lot more money, which means, first of all, have to be able to provide a lot more value, get that skill set, get those connections, whatever you need in your specific situation. And then from there, position yourself the right way, which I would say the best way to position yourself, again, is by being a brand partner. So that's that. I have more results. I don't need to show you all of that. That's a couple more results that I've had, but that's that. So here's what we're going to cover today, okay? First things first, we're going to cover how I built 2 agencies to a 7-figure run rate, both within less than 3.5 months, why it almost feels impossible to scale above 20K a month as an agency owner today, which is the reverse ripple effect of running a traditional agency. And how I'm myself acquiring 10 to 20K per month high ticket clients by positioning myself as a brand partner, and the steps you need to take to get the first 5K to 10K per month clients in the next 30 to 60 days. Again, none of this is rocket science. None of this is a magic wand that you can just swing and make money with. But all of these are proven frameworks. And you hear me a lot talk about brand partnering, brand partner, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a shiny object. And I know that's what you think it is right now. And I want to break that belief for you very quickly. Okay. Reason being is very simple. Brand partnering is a model that I came up with recently because I looked at what was I actually working on in the last 2 years and 4 months? How did I operate? How did my clients operate? And the ones that got the best results. And I came to a conclusion. I saw a specific structure in all of these businesses, and I decided to call it brand partnering. Okay, that's what it is. It's not a shiny object, because what brand partnering does is it helps you essentially take the strengths and take the skills that you have developed so far in the company you're running right now, and then put that into something that's more leveraged. Because if you have skills in marketing and you have skills in sales, but maybe you just don't know how to offer things and who to offer them to, and you have no clue how to structure all of that good stuff, well, it's not like you're switching business models. You're not running after the next shiny object. You're just taking what you have and what you can do well and packaging it the right way. And that's the number one differentiator between people that make a lot of money and people that don't. And there's levels to the levels. I've met people before that are in person, by the way, that are 25 years old and have a net worth of $400 million, self-made. I look at that and I'm like, well, like, who the fuck am I, right? It's not that they work that much harder. It's just they're playing different games. What you focus on is the most valuable thing. People always say time is your most valuable asset, and I heavily disagree. In my opinion, focus is your most valuable asset. So treat it like that. So that's that. Next one. Why should you listen to anything I have to say? I think I've already shown you a lot of proof, right? But I want to walk through a bit more right here. So, for example, this was the last company that I ran, just a couple Stripe screenshots. And right here, this is Wise. Yeah, nothing much to say about that. And I just wanted to tell you my story quickly. Okay. So I want to show you how you can change everything around for yourself with the information I shared today, because I've done it for myself. Okay. 2 years ago, I was 19. I was pretty broke, very broke, in fact. And I, to be honest, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at all. I just didn't have a clue. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was dabbling around for a bit. I was working a couple minimum wage jobs. I was trying lots of different things, but nothing really ever worked out for me. And I went from that situation to building 3 businesses past 10K per month in cash collected in less than 2 weeks each. Okay. In the last 2 years and 4 months in this industry, I've had 5 companies, so 5 agencies / coaching businesses and consulting businesses. And I've built 3 of those past 10K a month in cash collected in less than 2 weeks, every single one of them. Okay. Which is why anybody that is below 10K a month and on this live event right now has 10,000 fucking reasons to listen to what I have to say, because I've done it 3 times, okay, with different companies. So that's that. And 2 of those passed or surpassed a $1 million run rate. First one in 7 weeks, second one in 3.5 months. So I would say I'm pretty confident in the fact that everything I'm talking about here will change your life if you listen, note it down, and implement it. And I did that working with some of the biggest names in the creator economy. Now, yeah, this is my second agency, was called ISA Realty, which was a consulting company mainly focused on real estate. And I scaled that to 60K a month profit in 7 weeks. There, I also had a couple business partners back in the days, learned a lot from that. So that's that. I also, after that, let me see. There we go. Scaled my 3rd company, selling coaching to agencies past 10K a month in 1.5 weeks. I scaled my 4th agency to 220K a month in 6 months from there, right? So you can see everything I'm saying is actually valid. So that's that. me just get out of here. There we go. Cool. This is me today, okay? I don't know if you like the little pictures that I put there of myself. I think they look like eggs, but you can kind of see obviously what type of life I'm living. It's not like I don't know, the ruler of Dubai yet, but I would say I know a thing or two about making money. And I just wanted to show you proof so you actually know why you should listen to me in the first place. Okay. So that's that. Now, what I did is I didn't start a brand new agency model, as I said. The only thing I did is I took the existing skills I have developed and positioned myself in a trending industry, which is info products. Now, I have a little Google screenshot right here that also points this out, but you can also Google this for yourself. The creator economy right now is valued at about $230 to $240 billion and is projected to be worth round about $480 billion by 2027, which is in 2 years. That means the creator economy is projected to double its market size within 2 years. Double the amount of money in the market, double the opportunities, double the clients you can sign. Okay. Again, I'm not talking about growth operating here. I'm not talking about IPGA. I'm not talking about that bullshit because none of these models actually work. And I'll tell you why in just a second. I'm talking about brand partnering. Now, the problem with today's shiny agency models, first of all, growth operating and IPGA. Let me just minimize myself here so I can read this better. There we go. Growth operating and IPGA. These are usually solely focused on building communities. But the problem is nobody on this fucking planet is ever going to give you 40 to 50% of what they make from a school community, especially if they have an audience, especially when you're starting out. These models only attract broke people who have zero skills and no understanding of what running an info product is actually like. So that's that. Super, super important. From there, I wanted to go through one thing. Why do you think it feels almost impossible to scale past 20K a month as an agency owner today? You need to understand one thing. There are more people selling the same offer as you at the same price with the same guarantee than ever before. And the problem is people talk about it like, oh yeah, market saturation doesn't matter if you're truly great at what you do. Guess what, Einstein? 99% of people in the marketplace are shit at what they do. So how is giving them the advice, stay in the market even though it's saturated? Because if you're good, it doesn't matter. Anything that helps them, it doesn't make any sense. And it's fine that you're shit in the beginning. You need to get better. That's okay. I was there and I'm far from perfect. Okay. But again, I've learned a thing or two about making money in this space. And saturation does matter. You're relying on the same client acquisition tactics of sending cold DMs and cold Loom video pitches as you used to do back in the days. Doesn't make any sense. Your revenue per client is low, forcing you to always look for new clients. And 90% of clients that you work with are pretty much impossible to bring results for, leading you to think that your service delivery sucks. These things, again, I'm showing those to you because I know what it feels like. I was there and I know what the problems are that you're facing. So let me ask you one thing. Does this sound like you right now? Does that sound like a situation that you're in currently? Do some of these points apply to you or all of them? If so, type a 1 in the chat. I want to see that. If not, type a 2. There we go. That's lots of ones. Perfect. 4. Yeah, that was not an option, buddy. Cool. So this is traditionally the problems that people are facing. If you look at the chat right now, 2 people said 2, and one of them, Pascal, shout out to you, said he doesn't have an agency yet. Which means that pretty much everybody in here struggles with exactly this. And I'll show you how to solve it. So you want to position yourself as a brand partner expert. I told you before, it's not the next shiny object. It's not the next best train, you hop on, and then after 3 months it dies out. It's a way to position yourself the right way with the current strengths and skills that you have. And there's 3 things you have to do. And what you'll see throughout this live event is that I created this live event in a Alex Hormozi style way. And what I mean by that is very simple. I want to bring things to you in a simple way. What do I mean by that? I'm not here to talk about a topic and make it sound fancy just to try and show myself as someone that's more educated or more skilled in this certain vehicle. I'm not here to talk in complex terms. I could do that, but it doesn't make any sense, because what helps you and what's applicable to you and what's going to provide value to you and bring you results and make you money is exactly this. The first thing we got to dive into, and the first mechanism we're going to talk through, is how you can create your own high value offer. From there, mechanism number 2 will be marketing and sales process that has to stand behind that. And then from there, we need to talk about delivery and retention. Oh my God, it's not a magic wand. That's exactly what I was saying in the beginning. There is no magic wand, and there is no one strategy that you now use and you suddenly become a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. But this is the smartest way to run an online service-based business in today's day and age. No matter if you're doing agency, coaching, consulting, even if you're a setter or a closer, this applies to you, because this is how you can build the business. I hated that word, but of your dreams. Okay, exactly what you want to do. You need these three steps. And I'm not here to overcomplicate it. I'm here to talk through what truly matters. Couple of things. So first of all, for the creating the high value offer mechanism, the offer needs to be specifically for info products that have money. Why is that? Because people only take things seriously when they spend enough money on them. Otherwise, they don't care. If it's cheap, it's disregarded. And the goal of your product should be utilization. That's the target. That's what you have to aim for. Everybody that's in here, let me ask you one thing. A product that you bought before, say you bought a coaching before, and that coaching was $500 or $1,000. You didn't see results. Guess what, Sherlock? You didn't see results because you were looking for the cheapest price rather than the biggest value. Whenever I have people come to me as an agency client prospect and they say, well, that's a large sum of our revenue, large portion of our revenue. I'm like, well, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the best results or the cheapest option? If it's the cheapest option, go talk to someone else. It's so important. I talked about Alex before. You know why Alex is able to charge $200,000 to $250,000? I really want you to let that run through your mind, okay? Why is Alex able to charge that amount of money? Well, again, it's because of the value of his service, yes, but it's also the way he positions himself. Alex positions himself the right way as a brand partner. Alex meets people like CZ. I don't know if you guys know that guy. It's obviously a bit more, a lot more people will know him in the crypto space, but that dude is the CEO and founder of Binance. Binance is a $80 billion company with a B. And Alex met him, has a photo with him, with them shaking hands. What, do you see how that positioning is so much different to what you have? Now, could you meet the founder of Binance? Maybe not right out of the bat, but you could, if you truly tried, give yourself a lot more authority than you think you can. Because it wasn't that hard for Alex to meet him. And he has countless examples like that, and I do as well. So that's that. In addition to that, it's just math, okay? If you want to make $500K a month, let's say you sell a $29 offer. You need 17,000 customers to be able to make that. On the other hand, if you want to make $500K a month with a $50K offer, you need 10 clients. What is everything I want to show you with that breakdown? You need to charge high ticket. And it's very easy to say, and it's harder to implement that. But again, it boils back down to two things. the way you position yourself, which should be as a brand partnering expert, and how much value you provide, which comes down to expertise and skill set. Nice balloons. If you have those two, you can charge whatever the fuck you want to. Okay? I'm not the person to sit here and tell you, oh, just charge more and you're going to make more money. That's not truly the way it works. But I'm here to tell you exactly what it takes to make more money. And this is it. And it also boils back down to confidence. I know a lot of you in here are in a situation where you're not fully confident in yourself. You're just not. And that's okay, but you need to change that. Because I wasn't confident either. And I've had clients before, like for example, Wojciech, that were in such bad mental spaces, literally being clinically depressed. They still made it out and they still made a lot of money. No matter the mental situation you're in right now, you need to gain the confidence in yourself to actually move forward and take action on the things that truly matter. But you gain that confidence through guidance, okay? And this is one thing that I want to tell you here. I'm not here to say, ooh, this is why you should work with me or him or her. I don't care. I truly don't care. I have my agency clients. I make a lot of money with that. I don't necessarily need to work with anyone if I don't want to. It's something I choose to do. But, and this is very important, I can tell you for a fact, if you try to build a successful company and you don't have someone guiding you, you're going to fail. Or it's going to take you a lot more time than it would otherwise. Why? It gives you two things. First one, it gives you clarity on specifically what to do. Second one, you have confidence because you know the steps you're taking, the other person took before, and it's exactly what led to their outcome. So it gives you confidence. A lot of you lack confidence, comes back down to guidance, right? It doesn't matter who you work with, but you need to have someone by your side who's qualified to do so. Everybody has the same 24 hours in the day, okay? Look at Elon Musk, look at Mark Zuckerberg, look at whoever else who has a lot of money. They're all just choosing to pull different levers, take different risks, and focus on different games and different levels of games that they're playing than you and I. It's not that you need to work harder or do more volume. You're just not doing the thing that matters. I told you before, I've met people that have $400 million in crypto and in the bank and in their Bugatti. And they're 25 and self-made completely from the ground up. How can they do that? It's about what you do and how you do it, not how much. That's only a small part of the equation, okay? So that's that. Cool. Next one. There we go. Okay, couple more things here. Okay, so first things first. The price you have should always be in accordance to the results that you can generate for that person, right? So just to obviously put you into the picture, we're still talking about how to actually create your offer, formulate your offer, and put all of that good stuff together for the brand partnering model specifically. So obviously make sure to listen in, because without creating a high value offer, you won't be able to sell anyone and make any money. So listen, okay? Price is always going to be connected to the result that you can bring for a person. When someone buys, they have to be the ones in favor of the deal. What does that mean? The price you charge is dependent on how fast you can tilt the value to price discrepancy in their favor. In the beginning, it's heavily in your favor because they just paid. So just to illustrate this for you, okay? So essentially, you have someone buy, okay? And when someone buys, it tilts heavily in your favor, okay? Because they just bought, they just spent 10K, 20K, and didn't get anything. The faster you can tilt this scale back to this, that they're getting a lot of stuff and a lot of value and a lot of results for a measly amount of money. The faster you can tilt it like this, the more money you can charge. Does that make sense to all of you? Can you put a number 1 in the chat right now if that makes sense to you, please? Cool. One fucking yes. Love that, bro. Classic fuck you scale. Yeah, pretty much. So that shows us that it's about the speed to result. It's not about the result. Why is that? Little light bulb moment. Love that. I hope all of you had a light bulb moment right there. Okay. This is very important. You're able to charge a lot of money the faster you can bring the result, the faster you can tilt your fucking me scale in their favor. Now, why is that in the first place? Let me put you guys in on a little thought that I had in my head recently. I truly believe that if everybody would live to be 500 years old, everybody would be rich, or everybody would at some point in their lives make a lot of money. Why is that? Because what people that make a lot of money and have a lot of money do is they condense time. It's not about acting as quickly as possible. It's only a part of it. It's also about pulling the right levers. If someone owns a private equity firm, of course, they're going to make more money than you running an SMMA. Of course, with less effort. But it requires capital. Okay, so that's that. Now, one thing I want to dive into when talking about offers as well is the difference between costly and expensive. Okay, so let's say we talk about a 50K offer. A 50K offer is costly, not expensive. Why is that? Because if it's high quality, the speed to result is quick, and there's a high probability of success, then it's not expensive, it's costly. Okay. I have had, for example, I've had a client that came on board a couple of months ago, and they paid whatever, like just close to 5 figures, like 9K or something like that. Not much money, right? And essentially with them, they were like, damn, that's expensive. And I was like, bro, are you joking me? Like, are you joking right now? Did you see the system? Did you see the results that we're going to bring you with a measly 9K investment? Money is always connected and correlated to specifically the perspective that you have on it. And you have to learn to think in terms of value and not in terms of cost. Things are costly, they're not expensive. Something that's expensive is something that has low value, but is still 50K. That's expensive. Something that is 50K, but brings a result of 500K in your client's pockets, that's easy peasy, that's costly. Okay, know the difference. You never want to be in a position where someone categorizes you as expensive, because the value has to be so obvious and clear that it doesn't even come into their mind to call it expensive. And there's two things to this, okay? So listen up. The first one is, do you actually have the value? Like, do you actually provide the amount of value that you need to provide in accordance to your price? If yes, then the only problem you're facing after that is the perception you curate. Everything you do in your business, the blog posts you write, the YouTube videos you post, the short form videos you shoot, the client interactions you have, the way you present yourself online, the way you do webinars, whatever that may be, all of these things will immediately put you in a certain perception. Okay, people will see you in a certain way. And that perception is the number one thing that determines how much they pay you, how fast they pay you, and how much they trust you. Okay. And so the perception you curate is by far the most important thing overall, by far. So that's that. Now, obviously, for specifically what price ranges you should use, et cetera, it very much depends on your offer. Okay. So you obviously have done on your own, you have done with you, you have done for you. Do it yourself or done on your own is the lowest cost. Done with you is the middle cost. Done for you is the highest cost. Okay. At the same time, do it yourself is the slowest. Done with you is mid-pace. And done for you is the fastest. Difference in speed to result. In do it yourself, there's no involvement from your end. Done with you, a bit of involvement, and done for you, most involvement, etc. I could go on and on about this, but I think you get the point. That's what you have to know about price. Now, one thing that I want to dive into here very much that's super important. A lot of you are in it for quick money. A lot of you try to make a quick 10, 20K, etc., and you're just not really playing the game for the people that you want to work with. And you should never do that. It's the worst thing you can do. You will never sign any deals with it like that. Most of the deals that make me a lot of money every month with my agency clients are the ones where I have heavy revenue share. Now, sometimes you have to charge up front as well because it's going to make them more bought in. It's going to make them more involved. It's going to make them get better results as well. But the way you get paid has to be from the amount of money you generate them. If you work with someone and you get 20-30% of their revenue and they make 50 to 100K, you need a couple of clients like that, scale them, and you make multi-six figures a month in profit from a couple of clients. Now, is it hard to get someone to give you 20 to 30% of what they make? It's only hard if you don't know how to do it. And hard, again, is just a perception. Okay, this is super important. Now, we talked about offers, we talked about pricing, and there's a lot more to this, and I want to expand on this a bit more afterwards as well. But one thing you have to understand here is this. When you're first starting out, most people will not be willing to give you a big revenue share and a large responsibility as you have no track record. Okay? Because you have no track record, people won't usually be willing to give you that. If you come to me and you say, hey, I'll do this and this and this and this, even if it makes a lot of sense to me, I'll probably say, let's first start out doing this one thing and see how you perform. That's how I hire people as well. I don't hire a closer immediately unless I know they've been on similar offers and been crushing it and made millions. That's different. But if you're anything less than that, I want to see how you perform before I give you big share in the company. Okay, so that's that. So for example, what you could do is you could charge 3K plus 10% for a done for you webinar. You do everything for them top to bottom on that webinar. And then when that Webby is a success, what you can do is you can handle their entire email marketing. And then over time, when you deliver amazing results, you gain leverage over them and you can demand more. And one thing I want to say here, okay? One thing that's very important and that you want to keep in mind. This presentation isn't necessarily fancy. You won't see a lot of visuals and you won't see a lot of things that trigger your dopamine. But I want to challenge you to do one thing here. I want to challenge you to just stick to it. Listen through it, tune in and focus. Because yes, that's a lot of text and yes, that's a lot of information. But if you have your pen and paper, you're taking notes, you're listening closely to what I'm saying, you're noting down your questions for the Q&A later, you're doing all of that, okay? And then you implement as well. You will make a lot more money, okay? Simple as that. So yes, it's not the most fancy presentation, but it's the most valuable one that you need right now in your specific situation. So make sure to listen and tune in. As soon as you've gotten amazing results for them, you can gain leverage over them, which means you can demand more, okay? So for example, in this meeting, I have one of the people that I've decided to work with because I see some potential in them, right? I see some potential in them and I know they're gonna hit it big in the next few years if they just stick to what they wanna do. And that name is, or that guy is Clayton, right? Clayton, I know you're listening to this. Clayton recently signed a deal for just like 1K, right? First client, and he was just super happy about it. What's good, guys? There he is. Bro, Clayton always wants to scale and he wants more. And I see it. He's very proactive every single day. But one thing Clayton needs to keep in mind, and it's also what I tell him, is that when you make sure to deliver amazing results for that client, and then you maybe get one more of that sort, and then one more, and you deliver amazing results, and then you take more responsibility in the company, boom, you can charge more again. And then another time, and another time. And over time, there's so much rapport built, you get a rev share. And then you do more responsibility, more rev share. And then all of a sudden, Clayton makes 10K a month of one client. Did he need any fancy outreach system for that? Did he need to do anything besides just stick to his word and be consistent and just try his best to get results for his clients? No. And I can promise you, if Clayton does that, he's going to get there. Okay. And so one thing you guys have to understand is that you have to know the position you're in. You cannot demand big stuff unless you either know exactly how to do that or you work your way up. Those two routes. That's it. At the point in time where you have big revenue share, you are heavily incentivized to go above and beyond for every single client you have. And that's exactly what you do. You do that with 2 to 4 massive clients, and you'll be making multi-six figures a month in profit within 6 to 12 months. Now, again, who am I to say that? Why should you even listen to that? Again, you've seen what I showed you before. You've seen Alex, you've seen Aviral. I'm talking multi-six figures a month with multiple clients. Aviral made $120,000 off one single marketing campaign. Took him 2 weeks. He didn't make, to be very clear with you guys, by the way, he didn't change anything about his delivery, okay? His delivery was the same. He just talked to the biggest guy. And that's what got him that deal. And that's the rooms you want to be in. And I'm in a position right now where I could very, very easily, as an example, I could very, very easily get 10, 15, 20 clients in the info product space, getting rev shares in bigger companies. Why? Because first of all, I position myself that way and I have the proof to back it up. But second of all, I know these people. I'm actually interacting with people in this space. Okay. And this is one thing a lot of you guys don't do. A lot of you guys sit in your dorm every day and you send 100 DMs to people every single day. How the hell are you going to meet people that can pay you that amount of money unless you do something different than the millions of other people out there that try the same thing as you? Okay. So that's that. I'm on a bit of a rant here, I know, but I think you see that I truly want the best for you and I truly want to make sure that you make it happen. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into the specific sales process that you need. By the way, just before we get into that, did all of that make sense to you guys so far? How do you like it so far? Do you see how when you implement what I spoke about so far and when you switch everything that way, it's going to make you a lot more money a lot quicker? If so, put a 1 in the chat. Nice. Love that. Love that. Amazing. Lots of ones. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Alfie, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Tim, what's up? What's up? Good to see you as well. All right. Amazing. So that's that. Now, the second mechanism that we need to dive into here is the marketing and the sales process. Okay. And there's a lot I want to dive into here. One thing I want to say up front, okay? I have so many things that I want to share about this. I don't want it to get confusing. Okay. So I'll try to break every single thing down that you guys need to know, whilst at the same time keeping it simple and straightforward so it's easy to implement. Okay, very simple. So that's that. Now, mechanism 2, marketing and sales process. There's a couple different things to this, right? You have short form content, you have paid ads, you have VSLs, you have direct booker call funnels, etc. What I want to do here is I want to break down how you can attract and close clients, because this is the backbone of your business. And it's exactly what makes you more money. Okay. I want to dive into content, outbound ads, sales process, etc., and how to use all of that and how to build it. So there's 3 parts to this. Okay. Actually 2 parts to this specifically. Getting leads and closing leads. Simple. Right. But I want to break it down specifically for brand partnering and how you can do that as a brand partner. Okay. By the way, I see we're already 15 minutes in, which is absolutely amazing. Again, we're still going to take a bit of time here, but make sure to listen through, because this is exactly what's going to change your business and your life around financially. And if you truly want the success, you stick around, you listen in, and you tune in. Okay. So let's get into it. So getting leads, there's a lot of different strategies that I want to dive into here, but again, you want to get the most high quality leads. And the first place you should always go to when trying to get high quality leads is the lowest hanging fruit. The thing that's the easiest and the fastest to do, and the thing that might close your clients the easiest way possible. What's that? It's your network, the people you speak to. And if you don't have a network yet, I would recommend you collaborate with more people, because it's what brought me my success. Okay, working with the right people at the right time. That should actually be a thumbs up right there. So that's that. Now, network, very simple. Hit up your network, not much to talk about there. Second one, strategic partnerships. With strategic partnerships, you can get leads and make it mutually beneficial for both parties. I have multiple like those deals set up where I have different systems set up where people get me leads from communities, from ads, etc., etc. They send them to me. When they close, they get a nice little kickback. Okay, it's not hard to structure and implement strategic partnerships, but it will make you a lot of money if it's done right. And one thing I want to say here is that you have to make sure to partner, first of all, with the right people, because I've made the mistake before where I partnered with the wrong people in the industry and it pushed me down a lot. Okay, that's the first one, the right people. And the second one is actually have a connection with them. Okay, don't set up partnership deals or strategic partnerships with people that you don't really know. It doesn't make any sense. You can't trust them. They don't trust you. You need to have a connection. Okay. Again, I know that these people or these things that I'm running through aren't fancy and they aren't the magic wand that you want, but there is no magic wand. This is exactly what works the best in this market right now. And I know it because I've worked with more than 150 high ticket people in this industry. And I've done it for myself. And so I know what works and I know what doesn't. So again, listen in, okay? Third one, Trojan horse strategy. A couple of people talk about it in the space here or there, but to be clear, no matter what type of business you have, if you don't do this, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, okay? What is it? Literally as simple as you going into people's paid communities. That's it. I have made more than $30,000 a month cash collected. That was almost take home because my margins on that were like 90, 95% with just this strategy. Me talking about, oh, get into paid communities might seem simple, might seem straightforward, might seem, yeah, makes sense. But let me tell you something. If you're not making at least 30K a month off this right now or from this right now, then you need to listen. Okay? Very simple. What do you do there? Two different things, okay? First one is you want to do win posts. I'll give you an example about this. So one of my current partners, his name is Daniel or Linkai. He was a closer. He was making about 15K a month to 20K a month, round about that. So he was making some money and he wanted to switch to building a business because he saw, well, as a closer, there's limited upside to how much money I can make. So I'm helping him build a business in the space right now. And what he's doing is he's in sales communities and just posting his wins. Because naturally, he's going to attract sellers and closers that want the same results. And guess what? When that happens, what he can then do is get on a call with them, provide value, get them in his profile funnel. Over time, they get on a sales call, and then from there they convert. Because he's targeting sellers and closers. He wants to train them and then place them in companies and charge for both. That's the company we're building. It's an agency. Okay. Paid communities are by far the best thing you can leverage. First one, wins. Second one, you need to engage with people in the community. Okay. Ask questions, answer questions, ask people whether they want to do role play for sales, connect with people, be people's accountability partner. Literally, everybody in here, okay, listen to this. The first company that I shared with you, the ISA Realty company, $0 to $60,000 a month in cash profit. That is not revenue. That is not contractual value. That is cash profit, take home in 7 weeks. Okay. That company, the entire company was built off this one system. Just that. No ads, no personal brand, no content, no outbound, nothing. Just this one strategy and a fucking spreadsheet with our lead names. That's it. Do you get how powerful this is? You need the right strategy for it, though. Because that doesn't come from you just going into random communities now and posting a couple random things. You need to have strategy behind that. But if you do, it can make you a lot of money. Again, one spreadsheet and that strategy, $60,000 a month in cash profit. How many of you in here make $60,000 a month in cash profit? I would assume that number isn't very high. And so because of that, listen, okay? That was that. That's my favorite one so far, by the way. I love the Trojan horse strategy. It's something -2. It's something that works very well. And it's also quite enjoyable because you can build it in ways where it's more about collaboration rather than sales. Time hasn't caught up yet. Yeah. Bro, things take time. But things don't take time if you implement exactly what you should focus on. If you focus on the highest leveraged activities and you do exactly what's going to make you the most amount of money the quickest and provide the most value to your clients the quickest, then it shouldn't take you too long. Okay. Again, 7 weeks. That's what it took us. 0 to 60. So that's that. Sounds like a car, by the way. 0 to 60, whatever. So that's that. After that, direct book a call funnel. Super simple. Okay. Super simple, super straightforward. There is nothing fancy about this, but it's one of the most fundamental things you have to have in place. Okay. If you have a direct book a call funnel where you're running ads towards a landing page, people opt in, then they either book in immediately or you have a setup triaging or getting them booked in. Very simple funnel. I don't want to elaborate too much on that one for now, but that's obviously in there as well. Next one. This one is very important. Live webinars. The whole brand partnering model is obviously about working with fat clients only, taking big, heavy revenue shares, focusing on them a lot, and just growing their business. Okay. And I think you've kind of seen the direction that I'm getting into with this so far. But I myself think if you do brand partnering, the best industry is info products. There is one other one that I would say is amazing to get into when you're doing brand partnering, and that one is Web3, cryptocurrency. But outside of that, if you're not a crypto expert and don't have connections in that space, don't do it. Get into info. Okay, you don't have to sell an info product. Most of you in here aren't at a point in time where you can sell info because you don't really have info to sell. And that's okay. Which means that you can partner up with people doing it. And again, it's not growth operating. It's not coming in and saying, oh, let me build your school community. Doesn't make any sense. Zero. Absolute zero. Okay. That's not what I'm doing. But what I am doing is making me a lot of money with my clients. Okay. So that's that. And my clients as well. Live webinars. Why do I touch on live webinars specifically? I touch on live webinars because it's trending right now. 5-6 years ago, live webinars were doing really well, right? And then everybody started doing them. There will be a recording of this, by the way. Just saw that message. There will be a recording of this. It will be shown at the end of this whole live event, or it will be shared with the clients. So at the end or with clients. So that's that. Live webinars are incredibly powerful. Okay. And the data that we have so far from the live webinars that we've seen is incredible. Every single client that implements a live webinar crushes it. 10x, 20x ROIs. Every single one of them. If you can go to an info product that's established and help them set up just a webinar, which they will be fine with, by the way. That's something they need. And it's a lot of work. Don't mistake these things as light work. It's a lot of work and a lot of expertise as well. Bro, if you can get a 10 to 20x ROI for these people, do you know how much leverage you have to now come into that business and handle more stuff? Live webinars are incredibly powerful, but there's lots of things to tie into them. Okay. This live event alone, ads have to be set up. VSL has to be set up. So scripted, shot, and edited. Landing page has to be built. WhatsApp group has to be built. Everything has to be up and running. Okay. From there, the presentation has to be built up. The topics have to be talked about in the first place. Okay, there's so many moving parts and pieces to these things. You can get paid a lot of money if you do that for info products. Done for you webinars. Very, very simple way to get your first brand partnering client. And then over time, get more leverage, get a nice little revenue share, get a big revenue share, boom, making 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a month with one single client. And no, I'm not joking when I say 100K a month, by the way. I know a lot of you will think like, damn, like 100K a month, that sounds like a lot of money. Yes and no. Again, depends on the value. But for example, I worked with a consultant before because I haven't yet made 100 grand in 1 month from one client, but I will be doing that in the future. I've worked with a consultant before that makes about $4.5 million a month. Okay. And what he does is he makes about $200,000 to $400,000 per month per client. Guy works with Dan Locke. If you guys don't know who Dan Locke is, Dan Locke in the last 3 years scaled a sales coaching from 300K a month to about $5 million a month. And my previous consultant has a fat revenue share in that company. He probably makes $500,000 a month from one client. Again, the brand partnering model is not made up. It's no fugazi growth operating thing scheme that doesn't work anymore after 3 months. That guy's been doing it for 6 years. Okay. OG copywriting. Yeah. IPGA as well. That doesn't make any sense. Super important. Okay. From there, automated webinars. I'm not going to spend too much time on this specific topic for the simple reason that I think it's the less leveraged version of live webinars right now. Live webinars just work way better. But if you want to do automated webinars, works very well as well, can still bring you a good ROI, right? Again, one thing I want you guys to understand, do you know how much money is being printed off webinars at this point in time right now? And how you can get a piece of that pie? Right now, okay, let's walk through the math. I told you 10 to 20x ROI. Even if you only get a 5x, which I promise you, it's a lot easier than you think. Even if you only get a 5x ROI of your webinar, even if you only get that, okay? If you spend 100K on ads, you make $500,000 in one webinar. How can you not want to talk to someone big in the space and do the webinar for them? Now, granted, you have to have the knowledge and the skills and the expertise to be able to make it work for them and make it profitable for them, but it's not like rocket science. It's not. You have to get access to the right quality information. And again, boils back down to guidance. If you don't have guidance, you're lost, which is exactly why you're on this live event right now, correct? So that's that. After that, outbound. Outbound is super simple. I don't want to waste much time on this. For the outbound itself, you could have a lot of different approaches to this. One approach that I like to leverage a lot with myself, my own company, and also with any partner and client that I have is a strategy called the perfect cold video pitch. It's a strategy that I have perfected over the last few weeks and months of running my company, and it's an incredibly powerful strategy. Essentially, the whole thought process behind it is that you leverage high effort, high value, personalized pitch formats to be able to get the best clients. Because sending 100 outreach messages in the DMs per day or doing 100 cold calls per day will never, ever, 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 ever bring you these clients. No chance, no way. There is absolutely no way. Okay. But, and this is the big but, if you switch the strategy and know what structure to use for it, it can bring you those clients because those people feel very drawn towards quality, towards effort. Okay, perfect cold video pitch, perfect example. Besides that, a couple of other strategies as well. So for example, you could literally just go ahead and tell people, hey bro, do you do one-on-one mentoring? Okay, sounds so simple, right? Well, it sounds like you're a prospect to them, which means they will for sure reply. And if you know anything about human psychology, then you know that if someone replied once, the likelihood of them replying again the second time is high. And if they reply a second time, the third time, it's even higher. Okay, outbound. Again, I don't want to waste much time on this. Perfect cold video pitch works like a Wax wonders, essentially. So that's that. Okay. From there, YouTube and Instagram. I want to talk about that as well. Okay. YouTube and Instagram are incredibly powerful. And one thing I want you to understand is that to make a lot of money in this online business world, to scale past 50K, 100K, 500K a month, even a million a month. By the way, all the numbers I'm talking about, it's all per month. I'm never talking per year or something like that. Doesn't make sense. If you want to reach these numbers, you have to become very good at two things. First thing, you have to become very, very good at creating the perception. But then you have to be very good at delivering reality. What I mean by that is people don't see your product. So if this is your product and this is people, there's a wall here. They can't see the product. They have no clue what it looks like. Zero. And they likely, to be fair, don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about you, your company, or your product, ever. No one does. Okay. Well, what's getting them to buy? It's what's this wall, right? How is this wall structured? What does it look like? Is it structured like a temple, or is it structured like it's sitting next to a garbage waste management company? Okay. The perception you curate gets people to get on, but then you have to deliver reality to have happy clients, good case studies, good testimonials, and get referrals. And I'll tell you one thing, okay? For everybody listening right now, which, by the way, I appreciate you for sticking around up until now. Still lots of value to come. Amazing that you did that. You're doing this for yourself, not for me, okay? You need to make sure that you're good at both. Lots of people in this industry are very deceptive. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience because I've worked with a lot of different people. I've gotten to know a lot of different people. Most people in this industry lie, deceive, and they're very ingenuine. Most, not all, but most. And so most people won't have a business after 2 years. Why? Because they don't stick to their word. They sign people on something that doesn't work. They sign people on something they don't even have and can't even build. Because of that, that's your point in time where you can gain leverage and you can gain an edge over other people. Because if you now come in and not only are good at the perception thing, but also at the same time, you're good at delivering, you will get a fuck ton of referrals. And that's what I would do with myself. I could ask any client and any partner I'm working with right now for referrals, anyone, and I would get them. If you can't do that, ask yourself why. Likely one of two things or both. First one, you don't have a good relationship with your client because you don't genuinely care. Second one, you don't deliver good results. Fix both or one of them. Okay, very important. YouTube and IG, they curate the perception and they cycle with one another, which means that people might see your YouTube, then you want to funnel them onto the Instagram. If they see your Instagram, you want to funnel them onto YouTube. Why? Very simple, because that way they not only get the value and the conversion mechanism on YouTube, but they get nurtured on Instagram and see your face every single day. Okay, super important. So that's that. After that, sales team. Your sales team is the backbone of your business. Your sales team are the gatekeepers to the revenue. If your sales team isn't optimized, then you won't make money. And a lot of you don't get this. A lot of you just don't understand this. You make money with sales calls. That should be your top priority. Why do you now go ahead and do everything but focus on sales? I don't get it. If you make anything less than 50K a month, chances are you're closing yourself. And that's okay. But again, you have to prioritize it that way. Very important for YouTube and Instagram. Now, there's a lot of strategies that I could dive into here, but I want to move through this a bit quicker so we can obviously be efficient with this. But this is generally speaking what it takes. Okay. From there, I'll give you a very good funnel here, okay, which you can use for yourself, and you can also use it for your clients when you start with brand partnering. Okay. This is something I've done myself. And I want you to listen to this right now, because when I tell you, it will sound so simple, but it's such an effective strategy. Okay. What I do is very simple. I have my ID account. My ID account is where people see my face every day. So it's very good for conversions, right? But then I have my Facebook. My Facebook has about 4,700 friends in this industry, in this space. Okay, cool, sweet. What now? Well, with that Facebook, I have a setter that's reaching out to leads, to mutual friends of my friend list every single day, 35 times, telling them, hey, bro, just so we have 44 mutual friends, would love to connect. I think you're running an agency as well. 10 out of 35 people reply positively. That's a high rate. Okay, what does the setter then do? That setter's only, only goal, only incentive is to have good conversations, to make friends. That's his goal. Okay, he makes friends. What then? Well, when there's more rapport and trust built, what he then does is he says, by the way, bro, I'm actually not that active on Facebook. I'm more active on Instagram. So just drop me a quick follow, send me a message. I'll drop you a follow back and send you a message back, and we can continue conversation on there. Boom. You get them onto the IG. They now follow me. They see my stories every day. They see my reels every day. They see my face every single day. And they're now chatting with my top sales team member. That makes me a lot of money. It's not like it's a bad, like you're, by the way, you're not being disingenuous or anything like that. You're actually having good conversations, but if you can help someone, you should help them. And this is one thing a lot of you struggle with as well. If you can genuinely help someone, why not help them? You clearly don't have the confidence, right? That works extremely well. And you can do that for your clients and you can do that for yourself as well. I sometimes even send voice notes like that to people saying, hey, name, hey, John, just seen we have about 45 mutual friends. Absolutely love to see it, bro. I assume that you're running an agency as well. And I'm generally speaking, always very curious to see what everybody's up to, what types of businesses everybody's running, et cetera, et cetera. So, bro, would love to hear it. Let me know. The reason as to why I can talk that fast is because I've done that a lot before. And it works like wonders. Okay. From there, referrals. If your product isn't aligned with your marketing, don't wonder if you can't retain people. Don't wonder if your LTV is low. Don't wonder if you don't get referrals. A company that's actually profitable and scalable long-term is being built off word of mouth. You cannot build a successful company unless you have good word of mouth, because that's the best marketing. Let me, every single one of you in here, listen to this question. Every single one of you, okay? Listen to this question. Would you believe me more about what I talk or tell you about myself? Or would you believe someone else more that has experienced me, my service, whatever, talking about me? Every single one of you in here would obviously trust someone else more because everybody talks good about themselves. Word of mouth. I can guarantee you none of your clients signed before they talked to 5 other people about buying your service. And if any of those 5 other people say bad things about it, they will not buy. Okay, word of mouth, very important. I know, by the way, these things aren't fancy, but I know that that's exactly what you guys need to hear. Okay. From there, mechanism number 3, delivery and retention. You want to retain 10K to 100K per month clients for years. If you master retention, you're out of that hamster wheel. The skills, the knowledge, and the systems that are needed for that, expectation setting and client communication is exactly what I want to dive into right now. Okay. So how can you retain clients for years? This is very, very, very important. First of all, people in the first few months retain because of the speed to result. But, and this is very important, people don't necessarily only care about the result itself. They care about how you communicate it. So let me show you what I mean by that right now. Okay. So essentially, I want to show this to you right here. Okay. I hope I can draw this correctly. So essentially, what happens is very simple. Let's say this is a timeline, right? Here, the client comes on board. I hope you can see this, by the way. Here, the client comes on board, and here he drops, okay? You can lengthen this timeline by having more touch points. So what I mean by that is very simple. Let's say you get your client 20 leads in the first few months. Okay, so you get 20 leads in the first 2 months, let's say, and it's very high quality leads, or let's say private equity firm. Okay, you get 20 leads in the first month. Your client will stay 3 times. This is statistically proven, by the way. Your client will stay 3 times longer with you, which means you triple 3x how much money you make per client if you just communicate every single lead that's being sent to them directly. So it's not a thing of, okay, we're on our weekly check-in now. Last week, you got 10 leads. This is what happened. You're telling them every day, John, just got a new lead. This is the information. This is what you should do. Because when day 20, when day 30, when day 60 rolls around, it's not going to be, oh yeah, every week they brought me 10 leads. It's going to be, this guy called me every day and had good news. That guy's amazing. I want to refer him to everybody I know, and I would always work with him again. And I want to retain for 3 more months, 6 more months, 9 more months. I want you guys to understand something about what I'm talking about here. Obviously, I'm doing business to make money. But I'm the type of person, I'm not there to go after $100 billion. I couldn't care less, right? I'm here to build freedom, prosperity, and health and wealth for my family, myself, and everybody around me, including clients and partners and team members, obviously, right? And so because of that, why on earth would I want to sell something that I don't have confidence in? Why on earth would I ever sell something that doesn't actually get the results? Because I want people to retain for years and decades. If I can get someone on board today, okay, I get someone on board today, and then I retain them for 10 years, how much money do I make from them during those 10 years? I want to have the best service on the planet, okay? Retention, first things first, comes down to the value you provide. Obvious, duh, right? Oh my God, crazy insight. But it also depends on how you communicate. And a lot of people don't focus on that. You should be in contact with your clients every single day. Tell them wins, tell them what's going on, right? Costin, I don't know if you're still listening, but Costin, for example, I was working with him for a bit and we had a lot of feedback loops, which not only meant that Costin got a lot more value, but in addition to that, he also felt better about it because he truly felt supported. Okay, and that's what it's about. So that's super, super, super important. That's for the retention, generally speaking, right? The skills and knowledge, what I want to say about that is very simple. Learn every day, progress every day, don't stop, be consistent. Don't really need to say much more about that because your clients are going to notice. I can promise you that. Like if you learn something new about how you can make your clients more money, about how you can improve their lives every single day, and you share it with them and you implement it every single day, I can guarantee you they will notice. And if you don't, they will notice as well, right? You need to progress. You shouldn't stagnate ever. So that's super important. Systems. If you're making less than 20K a month, this doesn't really like matter to you. You should do what's unleveraged. You should do what makes you money, what helps you get the skills and knowledge, but what's just unleveraged for now. Okay. When you're out of that phase, then you talk about systems, then you talk about operations. And the best piece of advice I can give you there, get someone to come and do all the operations for you and then leave again. One-time project, it's going to make you so much more money. Okay. It's what I did before. Expectation setting. A lot of you people don't set expectations the right way. And one thing you want to understand is that you will make 10 times more money if your funnel is completely congruent. So from the ads to the landing page, to the VSL, to the nurturing sequences, to the call bookings, to the retargeting, to your YouTube videos, to the Instagram, to the client results, to the client's experience, to the whole delivery, everything you have in your business needs to be completely congruent and streamlined. Why? Because that's going to set the right expectations. And success isn't success. Success doesn't equal success. Success equals expectations. If I set the expectation that my client is going to make 50K a month within 3 months and then they make 30, although that might be an amazing result and changes their entire life, they didn't get the result, the promised result, which means that they will more likely churn. Set the right expectations. One thing I want you to keep in mind here, by the way, a lot of you like to try and promise as much as possible, like almost over promise more money in shorter time periods, this and that. I'll tell you one thing. One thing I learned about this industry and about running these businesses is that you will inevitably always, okay, always make more money telling people what it truly gets them in results. Because someone who comes to you to scale from 20 to 50K will likely trust you more if you say a reasonable time frame. This is so weird. If you have a system that gets people to 50K a month from 20 to 50 in 2 days, and it's actually like that, and it's something that worked every single time for 100 clients, but when you talk to people, you tell them you're going to scale from 20 to 50K in 2 days, they're going to be, you're bullshitting. Like, there is no way. Which means that your close rates will literally increase just by you saying the fucking truth. Okay. And I'm a big proponent of telling the truth and being real with people. Okay. So be real with your prospects, set the right expectations. Client communication, already talked about that. You essentially want to stay in touch with them as much as possible. Talk to them every single day. Tell them about every single win you have. Plus, have at least 1 to 2 calls a week, every single week with them. One thing I want to say here as well, a lot of you are scared to do things that feel like slimy, for example, right? It is proven, I think, like Stanford University or some university like that proved that even if people know that you're just like trying to slime around with them and trying to make them feel better so they like you more, it still works. If you tell me, Elias, you're the best looking man on the planet right now, well, even though I know you're not real because it doesn't make sense, I will still feel good. I will still like you more. It's a natural human bias, okay? That's what I wanted to go over for delivery and retention. How are you liking it so far? How is everyone liking it? How much value are you getting? If you're getting a fuck ton of value, put 1 in the chat right now. Hey, damn, that goes quick. Love that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Love to see that. Hey, that's lots of ones right there. Damn. Holy. Amazing. Okay, that's perfect. Do you see how when you implement this, you can make an effective change in your business and your life today and change it for the better? Do you see how this is literally the thing you've been waiting for, the opportunity that you need to take advantage on to be able to crush it this year? Because I know all of you have set out goals for this year. And I know a lot of you probably aren't where they want to be yet, right? Do you see how this is going to make an effective change? You don't need to type it in the chat, but just think through that. Do you see how this can change everything around for you? Because I see it. Because it's done it for me and it's done it for all my clients. Okay. If you can see how this can change around everything for you right now, everything I'm sharing so far and everything I'm going to continue to share, put a 1 in the chat right now. Let's see. Hey, that's amazing. That's a lot of people right there. I love that. Cool. Amazing. So that's that. Very, very, very important. Okay. Cool. From there, let's see. There we go. Okay, there we go. So what I want to do now is I want to do a quick recap of everything that we spoke about so far. Okay. Everything that we dove into, all the value, everything that is going to change your business and your life for the better. Okay. Everything that's going to help you venture into brand partnering and take advantage of this today. We talked about specifically how you can get leads, how you can close those leads, and how you can increase the LTV. That being from hitting up your network, putting in place strategic partnerships, to the Trojan horse strategy. After that, to implementing a direct booker call funnel, right? Besides that, live webinars, automated webinars, outbound, YouTube, Instagram, how to structure your sales team, how to train, manage them. Facebook to IG funnel, referrals, all of that stuff, right? We went over so far in just 30, 45 minutes. That amount of value you just got on this live event in 30 to 45 minutes, okay? From there, I wanted to dive into one thing very, very quickly. Everything I'm telling you applies, but you will get a lot better results and a lot faster results if you're able to properly financial model with your clients, okay? If you always not only go back to emotions and make sure to engage people when they're talking to you, but also you can show them proper data on why it logically makes sense to move forward, you're going to make a lot more money. Financial modeling is something that's very complex and always very case-by-case dependent per client. But again, that's something that you need help with. Okay, super important. Besides that, I want you to have one thing top of mind. From this split second onwards, from right now, for the next few weeks, for the next few months, and for the next few years, I want you to have one single thing top of mind. And that one thing is this. People don't care until they know how much you care. It doesn't matter what your service is. It doesn't matter what your industry is. It doesn't matter what marketing you have, what your sales process looks like. It doesn't matter. Like, nothing matters if you can just make people understand you truly fucking care. And if you don't, you're not going to sign anyone on because no one trusts you. Truly care about people. Every single one of you on here right now that have literally for like 1 hour, 30 minutes been listening to me straight so far. Every single one of you in here, which is a lot of people, I truly care about every single one of you. And I truly care about your success. Some of you I know more, some of you I might not know as much, but I'm truly, truly genuine and I want to make a positive impact in this space. And I will make that happen. Genuinely care about people, genuinely want the best for them. And when you do that, it will shine through and it will show itself to people and people are going to trust you because of that. And it's going to be trust from both sides mutually. And that's the best partnerships you can start. Care about people, show it to them, know how to show it to them, right? Sales is a skill that transitions into many micro skills. And I'm not anywhere near where I need to be with my sales yet. I just literally, let me tell you guys something. I'm telling all of you that having the right guidance is important. I'm still to this day investing in my guidance. Just 2 or 3 days ago, I invested in someone coaching me on sales. Now you might look at me and think like, damn, that guy must crush it at sales. I still have someone coaching me on how to do it better because I'm not anywhere near where I want and need to be. And it's not that what I have right there in terms of sales coaching is cheap. Not at all. It's costly. It's not expensive. It's costly. Okay. And so just a couple of things I wanted to run through. Everything that we went over so far, right? All the people, all the clients that I walked through to show that it actually works. Walking through what I did, my story, walking through everything you need to do to get a fuck ton of leads every single day, everything you need to do to close those leads, right? And everything you need to do to increase LTV. So that's it. I hope you found incredible value in this recording of that live event. And to be honest, this live event was a lot of fun for me and I really did enjoy it a lot. So I might do those here or there moving forward in the future, but I hope you found incredible value. I hope you took lots of notes and I hope that you're gonna act upon those notes as well, because otherwise everything you just learned is worthless. Make sure to act upon it because that's when the true value comes in. So that's super, super important. Besides that, if you did find a lot of value, I would appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. If you do want to apply to work with me one-on-one, click the first link in the description. Besides that, that's it. Amazing to have you. Thank you for watching through the entire video. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.